Page 99. If you are fair ones, or responsible ones, and ones knowing of the truth, then you doubtless love those who believe themselves to be your enemies, because they consider themselves as your enemies, although you are not theirs. But they do not love you nevertheless. The ones who see themselves as your enemies, but you do not see them as yours, you love them because you act in love in accordance with the truth teaching, which teaches that all people of your kind, or human beings, are equivalent or equal to one another as people of your kind, or human beings. Those who believe themselves to be your enemies do not love you, however. Rather, they are deceiving you because they pretend to you that they are connected to the truth, although they are not. And when they are alone, then they gnaw their fingertips in rage against you, and they would prefer to die in their rage against you than to resolve their enmity and their rage and hatred against you in themselves. Truly, if something good happens to you, then it pains those who believe that they are your enemies. But if something evil happens to you, then they rejoice over it and laugh, but remain steadfast and upright, in spite of their doings, and esteem them as people of your kind, or human beings, and embrace them with love. Then their intrigues will not harm you. Consider that when you get up early in the morning and go out of your house, that you shall always be friendly and good to yourselves, as well as to all those whom you meet, and with whom you have doings, so that neither you nor anyone else may fall into agitation about you. Never reflect upon chicken-heartedness or cowardice, but always be upright, daring or bold, and joyful, so that you give yourselves power, and the others respect and honor you. Never be connected to chicken-heartedness or cowardice, but always stand by yourselves with great bravery, so that you may never be weak in any things, and so that you may take yourselves as protectors in all things, so you may be thankful to yourselves. It is not sufficient for you that the prophets bring you signs or evidence, and the teaching of the truth, since you are striving with false teachings to be like your fabulated or invented gods and tin gods, and you obstinately allow yourselves to be led into confusion by their priests and other servants or hands/helpers, believing that your god or tin gods are sending liberators or angels down to you, who shall come to your aid when you are fighting in a battle or war with those whom you have raised up as your enemies. And as you make enemies for yourselves, so they come over you in reckless haste. But no liberators or angels will come storming out of the clouds or from the firmament, from your gods and tin gods, in order to hurry to your aid, because liberators or angels from gods and tin gods are just as much fabulated or invented, unsubstantial formations by people of your kind or human beings, as are the gods and tin gods themselves. Therefore, you shall arrange yourselves according to the real truth as is given to you by the teaching of the prophets, so that you may accept their joyful message in yourselves in order to calm yourselves in your inner world or consciousness, in your intention and consideration, or reflections and strivings. And truly, if help is given to you in any things, then it comes from you alone, because as far as you are concerned, you are the mighty ones, and those who have to create knowledge and wisdom in yourselves. However, so many amongst you are inconstant, which is why you cut off parts of the truth as unknowing ones, and debase yourselves thereby. This explains why you often have to turn away from unfulfilled things of evil when the truth catches up to you. It is your task alone to turn to yourselves in clemency or kind-heartedness, and to make yourselves into ones knowing of the truth, as it is also your significance or concern/matter whether you punish yourselves by being malefactors or irresponsible ones against the truth. Everything that exists in the firmaments or universe, and on the earths or worlds/planets, belongs to the primal power of the love or creation. But you are the ones to whom it is given to forgive yourselves or to punish yourselves according to equitableness or fairness. All those amongst you who are ones who have knowledge of the truth, and fair ones or responsible ones, and righteous ones or conscientious ones, do not gobble up a markup or interest, and markup on markup or compound interest when you give advances or loans, or borrowing, or loaned money, or mortgaging, or pledged money/surety money, but only demand a markup or interest and settlement in a fair or tolerable wise, so that you are not rapacious ones, or avaricious ones/usurers, and so that it may go well with you. Fear rapacity, or practicing usury, and the fire of unknowledge, if you turn away from the teaching of the truth, the teaching of the Spirit, the teaching of the life, and become depraved in yourselves by creating lovelessness and unpeace, as well as unfreedom and dissonance or disharmony in yourselves. Listen to the teaching of the prophets and their words of the truth teaching, so that you may find grace, or kind-heartedness, and mildness in your existence, and compete with one another in assiduousness or striving for true love and for peace, as well as for freedom and consonance or harmony, so that you may forgive all those who assume they are your enemies, so that you may create a paradise on your world, and honor and dignity may be yours, as is planned through the laws and recommendations of the primal power or creation, for all of you who shall be truth-knowing, and raised above all untruth, above all unright and all evil, as well as above enmity and battle or war, above hatred and jealousy, unfair or irresponsible punishment, and ordeal or torture, above revenge and retaliation, and everything that is against the guideline or signposting/leading thought of the primal power or creation. You are, rightfully, fair ones, or responsible ones, and righteous ones, or conscientious ones, if you give contributions, or alms/donations, to the poor and needy, whether you are in fortunate or unfortunate circumstances. And you are also fair ones, or responsible ones, and righteous ones, or conscientious ones, if you do not allow any anger and hatred, as well as any revenge and jealousy, and anything else that is unright, to arise in yourselves. And you are also fair ones or responsible ones, and righteous ones or conscientious ones, if you evince or grant/show forgiveness to people of your kind or fellow human beings, and show goodness to them. And those amongst you who commit a misdeed or an outrage against yourselves, consider your infamous action or crime, and search for forgiveness, so that it may go well with you, and you do not knowingly or consciously persist in your unright doing. And if you give forgiveness to yourselves, and ask for forgiveness from all those to whom you have done unright, then your reward will be a garden of happiness and joy, in which a stream of true love and of peace, as well as of true freedom and consonance or harmony, will flow. You will remain in the garden of happiness and joy as the reward for what you affect through your effort. Before your time, the true prophets presented and explained many laws and recommendations of the creative or creation, and of the appearance or nature proceeding from it, so that you may receive a guideline or signposting/leading thought for your existence and how to lead your life. Therefore, you shall take up the teaching of the true prophets, so that you wander across earth and see that your end will be good, not, however, like those who slander or calumniate the truth, and accuse or blame the true prophets of lying. The teaching of the prophets is a clear explanation for people of your kind or human beings, and a guideline or signposting/leading thought, and admonishment, so that you may be fair or responsible, and righteous or conscientious, and truth-knowing, and so that you may vilify or curse everything that is unright, and that you may only do what is rightful. Do not tire in doing what is fair or responsible, and righteous or conscientious, and do not sorrow about terrible things and unfortune in the past, just as you do not sorrow about iniquity or unfairness that is done to you, and everything that is of unright that has been blamed or ascribed to you. Do at all times what is rightful, and let bygones be bygones, so that you may prevail or gain the upper hand over everything of the past, and not wail over what has come and gone, or things of the past, and inconstant or mortal things. If you, as knowing ones of the truth, incur a wound, then be certain or knowing that those who have no knowledge of the truth incur similar wounds, because everything is changing amongst the people of your kind, or human beings, so that they may be admonished from this to learn in consciousness or consciously, and to differentiate themselves from animals and other creatures which are not capable or able to learn in consciousness or consciously. Truly, the person of your kind or human being is set apart from the beasts and from all animals and other creatures by his or her ability to learn in consciousness or consciously, whereas the beasts and all animals and other creatures only learn through their urges or instincts, and are not skillful or capable of thoughts. Be at all times faithful to the truth teaching, and cleanse yourselves daily from all inequitable things, or errors/unrights, that you cannot avoid doing in order to bring fullness or sufficiency to your unfolding or evolution, so that you may be constantly ever more fair or responsible and knowing, and therefore wiser, so that you are witnesses to the truth. Therefore you shall eradicate everything inequitable from yourselves by granting yourselves cleansing from it. Do not assume or believe that you will enter the realm of the truth as long as you have not decided in favor of it, and you do not yet distinguish yourselves from those who are openly connected to the untruth and unknowledge. Assume or believe only that you will enter the realm of the truth and of the love, peace, and freedom, as well as of the harmony, if you are steadfast ones in following the truth and its laws and recommendations. Quite a few amongst you have the habit of wishing for death before you meet it in a natural wise. But consider that if you look out for it without it coming to you at a time of its own choosing, then you are malefactors or lawbreakers against the life and against the laws and recommendations of the creative or creation, and against its appearance or nature. Truly, bringing death at one's own hand and being your own murderer in chicken-heartedness or cowardice is killing in Ausartung and against the laws of the life. Do not believe that you may die after a predetermined period of time, because there is no decision by fabulated or invented gods and tin gods for how long your existence shall continue. Truly, death comes to every one in its own time, which is determined by the inner and outer foreordination or destiny, such as age or illness, accident or Gewalt, and other things that bring life to an end. And whoever desires the reward of the world, it will be given to them according to their share or merit. And whoever desires the reward of the life, that is obtaining a peaceful death, that human being will receive it in due measure, or according to the unfolding or evolution of his or her inner world or consciousness.